Hello YouTube, my name is Nero and today we need some Call of Duty Black Ops 3 playing a bit of Kill Confirmed. Here on the map Aquarium, running around here at the Razorback submachine gun, and that is going to be the primary focus of today's video, the Razorback submachine gun, because this weapon has changed a number of times throughout its time here in Black Ops 3. During the beta version of the game, it was a powerful gun. It was actually borderline overpowered during that time. It was ridiculously overused, and at the same time for good reason, because it was very, very good. It was an SMG that would just melt you at just about every single range. When the live version of the game came out, when Black Ops 3 made its full release, the Razorback was a bit different than what we saw during the beta. It was in fact nerfed and therefore not nearly as good, and a lot less people have used it. And then with an update, they ended up making it so it's a little bit better, but I still don't think it's quite where it was during the beta. It's just a better gun than what it was when we first got the game back in November. Overall, I feel as though the Razorback is one of the better guns in Black Ops 3, but at the same time, it's one of the most underused guns here in Black Ops 3. I actually did a poll over on my Twitter. If you guys want to check it out, it is twitter.com/NeroTweets. And over there, I asked like what people thought. Like, do they think the gun's overpowered? Do they like using it? Do they think it's underpowered? Do they think it's, what do they think about the gun in general? And overwhelmingly, the majority of people said, it's okay, or yeah, I like it. Not too many people thought it was underpowered, or not too many people thought it was overpowered. They either just thought it was an okay gun, or they just really liked using it. I am in that category with the Razorback. The Razorback fills a very niche role in Call of Duty, the long-range submachine gun, which is something it's actually a relatively new concept to Call of Duty if you think about it in the grand scheme of things. So the first hybrid submachine gun / assault rifle, basically an SMG that had the range of an assault rifle, was the Peacekeeper back in Black Ops 2. I think a lot of us remember that gun coming out. It was a DLC weapon, which there was some controversy around that because it was one of the first DLC weapons in the Call of Duty series. But it came out as a DLC weapon. It was a hybrid where it was going to be an SMG that was very good at long ranges, but it was going to kind of suffer at close range. And a lot of people liked it initially, but if you guys remember the Black Ops 2 Peacekeeper, that gun died off really quick, didn't it? When it first came out, obviously everybody was using it nonstop, but after a couple weeks or a month or so, nobody used it, myself included. We all just kind of got burnt out on it, maybe because we were using it too much and everybody was just using it nonstop. But regardless, it was a very interesting concept, and that same concept carried over into Call of Duty Ghosts with the MTAR-X. I think a lot of people remember the MTAR-X as one of the best weapons in Call of Duty Ghosts because it was an incredibly powerful submachine gun that was very good at medium to long ranges, while at the same time, by the very nature of Call of Duty Ghosts and just how powerful every gun in that game was, it was also really good at close ranges. So it was basically the ultimate SMG. It felt like you saw it a lot in competitive Call of Duty, you saw it a lot in public matches. It was just one of the most used weapons in that game. And again, it comes from that idea of assault rifle / submachine gun, kind of a hybrid. Now, here in Black Ops 3, we have kind of the same idea. It is not nearly as powerful, I don't think, as the MTAR-X. I don't think anybody out there is trying to claim that the Razorback is the reincarnation of the MTAR-X from Call of Duty Ghosts, but at the same time, it's a very good SMG. It actually has some ridiculously good range. If you actually go ahead and look at the numbers, the stats themselves of this weapon, you will find that the Razorback actually has an incredibly high 4-shot kill range, meaning that it's typically going to take 4 shots to kill. It's got better range than some assault rifles even. It's just ridiculously good in that respect. Its fire rate is met. Its overall damage is pretty met. What makes the Razorback good is the fact that it can actually take these people out with a relatively low amount of bullets at a long range, but that is not going to be the same idea when you're up close with somebody. 4 bullets to kill at close range isn't very good compared to a lot of the other submachine guns when you factor in its fire rate, so on and so forth. So what really makes this gun good is that medium to long range. What I think makes the Razorback especially good here in Black Ops 3 is the way that the Black Ops 3 maps are designed. There is a lot of these maps where medium range is the perfect range on the majority of Black Ops 3's maps, in my opinion. There are some maps where, of course, it's super close range, but a lot of maps, SMGs and assault rifles are viable. So if you take a weapon like the Razorback, which is kind of a nice in-between, it becomes the ultimate viable weapon on a lot of the maps. Aquarium here, I think, is a good example. While sure, you're going to have a lot of close range engagements on this map, more so than a lot of the maps in Black Ops 3, you're also going to find a lot of those medium range engagements, especially when you go into the middle area, which you'll find me over there quite a bit in this gameplay, just running inside here and trying to take people out. There's people over here on the stairs right here. I can take them out pretty easily with the Razorback. There's somebody up there in that window. I can take them out with the Razorback. Now, fortunately, I don't have to do that because I have a Talon getting all the kills for me, but I think you guys get the point. I like the fact that Call of Duty over the course of the past couple of years is actually changing around the weapon styles, changing around the weapon profiles a bit and making it so these weapons feel a bit more unique. I think there's some overused ideas in the Call of Duty series, styles of weapons that we've seen far too many times. For example, high fire rate, low damage. How many times have we seen that on a weapon? High fire rate, rate, low damage, or low fire rate, high damage. We've seen that on countless assault rifles, submachine guns, and light machine guns in the past. Some examples for submachine guns would be like UMP-45. Obviously, that is the high damage, low fire rate gun. MP-40, high damage, low fire rate. If you go to like the Vector, that is your high fire rate, low damage. Same as like a mini Uzi, right? And then if you go to assault rifles, like your M4 variants, like your M4 carbines, your M4A1s, those are your low recoil, low damage and high fire rate weapons, whereas your AK-47s are your slow fire rate, high damage weapons. Like we've seen that style in Call of Duty for ages, but over the course of the past couple of years, they've actually been changing around a lot of this stuff. They've been making it so weapons feel a bit more unique. So we now have 3-round burst SMGs. We have like the Chi-Com, of course, and then you see, of course, the Pharaoh here in Black Ops 3. So we're seeing some burst SMGs for something different. We're seeing auto burst SMGs and auto burst assault rifle, because auto burst is a brand new thing to Call of Duty that we just started seeing here in Black Ops 3. We have the 6-round burst LMG here in Black Ops 3. That's pretty unique. A burst fire LMG, that's definitely just really odd if you ask me. We have slug shotguns that kind of work like close quarters sniper rifles. I don't think I need to go into too much detail as to how unique the Argus is here in Black Ops 3, because it's a shotgun that is either going to be a buckshot shotgun or a slug shotgun, depending on whether or not you're aiming down sights. Back in Advanced Warfare, we saw a number of unique weapons. We had the Cell 3 cauterizer. That was incredibly unique. We had the light machine gun that you could toggle between being a light machine gun or a full auto shotgun, which of course was the OHM. They implemented the idea of laser rifles and laser light machine guns, which was really unique to Call of Duty. They would shoot lasers and they would consume energy rather than ammo, and basically they would overheat rather than running out of ammo, which isn't incredibly unique in gaming. We see that in a lot of games, but we've never seen it in Call of Duty before. So that was definitely pretty interesting. We had the M1 Irons, which was a secondary revolver that was just about as good as any primary, especially when you're running those akimbo. I think it'd be awesome if we get something like that here in Black Ops 3, by the way. But going here to Black Ops 3, like you got the Gorgon, a 2-shot kill LMG with an incredibly low fire rate and really clunky handling mechanics. You have the PO6, the 3-round charge burst sniper rifle. Just there's so many unique weapons. We talk about the blunderbuss back in Advanced Warfare, which wasn't good for anything, but it was incredibly unique at the same time. Like they're changing around a lot of these ideas for weapons, which I think is really interesting. I think it's cool that they're changing around a lot of these things, and it all kind of stemmed initially, at least in my opinion, from the idea of having a long-range submachine gun. It's kind of taking the things that we're kind of used to, which was submachine guns. Yeah, those are typically high fire rate, low damage things that are good at close quarters, and they're not really good at anything else. And they kind of broke the mold with it back in Black Ops 2, the Peacekeeper, by making a submachine gun that was incredibly good at longer ranges. And now we're seeing that as kind of like a returning trend in Call of Duty, which is pretty cool. But the Razorback itself is a really good version of that style of a weapon. If you guys haven't tried out the Razorback, I would recommend using it, and I recommend giving it a little bit of time, because it's one of those weapons you're not going to feel incredibly used to right away, because it's going to feel different while you're using it. You're going to be using, and right here I'm actually grabbing my Cerberus, because I called this thing in a while back. You guys may remember, I called this thing in. It's done nothing but hover around here doing nothing since this came in. So I'm like, all right, Cerberus, I'm going to take you inside here where the action is. I'm going to try and plop it down in there. But the Razorback, it's going to feel different when you first start using it. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to, because you're so used to using submachine guns, right? For me personally, the Kuda is my favorite SMG in Black Ops 3. So when I'm using that, I just do nothing but run and gun. I'm getting very close with people because the Kuda is very good at taking people out at close ranges. Same thing with the Vesper, same thing with the VMP. But when you're using the Razorback, it's going to be taking you a little bit to get used to, because it's not great at those super close ranges. Obviously, you can get kills at close range. It's not like the worst gun in ever close range. It still is an SMG at the end of the day, but it doesn't excel there. Where it excels is that medium to long range, where you can try to take advantage of the Razorback's incredible ability to take people out in 4 to 5 shots at those super long ranges with relatively no recoil, as the Razorback itself has the best accuracy of any SMG here in Black Ops 3. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this, and if you did, drop me a rating where you guys feel it deserves. Now, here is the poll from Twitter once again, and I wanted to get your guys' opinions on that. Like, what do you guys think about the Razorback? Do you guys like using it quite a bit? Do you guys think it's one of the better SMGs in Black Ops 3? Do you think it's just an okay gun, like a nice middle-of-the-road gun? You neither love it nor hate it. It's just kind of okay. Like, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Razorback. And this is a very interesting one. How do you guys personally like to run your Razorback? Now, I don't do anything fancy with mine. I throw on a grip on there, which really isn't necessary if I'm being completely honest, because I'm used to putting grip on things. But like grip, sometimes quick draw, like I don't use a lot of different attachments on this weapon. I think it's a very nice weapon as is. I haven't experimented too much with like rapid fire. I've heard rapid fire is really good on the Razorback, but I personally haven't used it too much. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys like to run on your Razorback? I'll definitely be interested to read about that. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, drop me a rating. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.